Good evening, Nancy. I hope you had a wonderful day. And this is a summary of what we did today. So I forgot to add this, but I was running out of time. So let me just get back to American Headway. So we did this text. People, the great communicators. We can communicate with other people in many different ways. We can talk and write, and we can send messages with our hands and faces. There is also the telephone, including the cell phone. You can also say the mobile phone, the fax and email. Television, movies, painting, and photography can also communicate ideas. Animals have ways of exchanging information too. Bees dance and tell other bees where to find food. Elephants make sounds that humans can't hear. Whales sing songs. Monkeys use their faces to show anger and love. But this is nothing compared to what people can do. We have languages, about 6,000 languages, in fact. We can write poetry, tell jokes, make promises, explain, persuade, tell the truth, or tell lies. And we have a sense of past and future, not just present. Communication technologies were very important in the development of ancient societies. Around 2900 BC, paper and hieroglyphics, I'm exaggerating the pronunciation here, but it's hieroglyphics because you have to pronounce the H, transformed Egyptian life. The ancient Greeks loved the spoken word. They were very good at public speaking, drama, and philosophy. You can say both philosophy or philosophy, depending on where you are in America. But it's fine, you can say philosophy. The Romans developed a unique system of government that depended on the Roman alphabet, depending on the Roman alphabet. In the 15th century, the printed press helped develop new ways of thinking across Europe. Radio, movies, and television have had a huge influence on society in the last 100 years, and now we have the internet, which is infinite. But what is this doing to us? We can give and get a lot of information very quickly, but there is so much information that it's difficult to know what is important and what isn't. Modern media are changing our world every minute of every day. So you see on the side, you can see the hieroglyphics, the printing press, the Roman Empire, and there. Well, this is theater art, and mm, maybe the ancient way of communicating through different. Uh, I think he has a piece of paper, but you can also carve different things on a stone. So we went through different questions here. How many different ways can people communicate? They can communicate through cell phones, the internet. They can they can write. They can text. They can text people. They can send messages, emails, etc. They were talking about I think the fax, email, and also television, movies, painting, and photography. It's a way of communicating ideas or artistic ideas. Next, exercise number 4. Read the text again and answer the questions. Which animals are mentioned? What can they do? That's the second paragraph. We have the bees, they dance in order to tell other bees where to find the food. Elephants, they make sounds. They can communicate with other different elephants, but we may not hear anything. Whales, they sing. Monkeys, they use their faces to show anger and love. Okay. So, bees, elephants, monkeys, yeah, and the whales, I forgot. Next question we have, what is special about human communication? What can we do? Well, what's so special about human communication is we developed the communication is always developing, evolving, changing. We started to, we had different ways of communicating, like the Greeks, Egyptians were communicating differently, the Romans as well. And we started also having in the 15th century the printing process. It's on the paragraph, okay? In the 15th century, the printing press helped develop new ways of thinking across Europe. So that's important because they started to make different um, political, uh, political, what else? Different books in order to influence people to make them think differently. So it was a great way to communicate new ideas and spread them around in the world. Okay, so communication is good. It's human communication is good. It's always evolving. It's always different year after year. We change the cell phones. We change the different apps. We evolve. We have better computers, better ways to communicate every year. And as for the animals, it's different because they can develop different words adapting to different situations, but they don't have the technology. They don't use that. They may not need it as well. Which four forms of media are mentioned in the last paragraph? The four forms: radio, movies, and television, and the internet somewhere. The internet. Four. Okay. What is good and bad about information technology today? Well, the thing is, I think we're addicted to that. We cannot spend a day without using a computer, a cell phone, a tablet. It's, I mean, that's my job. I have to stay connected pretty much all day, and but it's very sad to end up commit. I mean, you remember the beginning of Facebook. Many people were taking pictures of what they were eating. They still do that actually. Uh, it makes me laugh to go to a restaurant and take a picture of what I'm gonna eat. It's like, wow, sure, great. Um, it's just a bit ridiculous. I'm not a big fan of selfies. The selfie sticks. These people they take pictures of themselves all the time. I'm not a big fan of that. I think it's a bit ridiculous, but um, yeah, it's extreme. But I think we have great abilities to communicate well, to develop the communication um, methods, options. The problem is if we get addicted to that. So there is, the kids in school in America, they can get what we say bullied, BULLIED. They can get bullied. So it means they can get bullied in school, but also on social media. And kids are sensitive, and we have a problem in America about suicidal teenagers who've been facing this kind of problem. So they go to school, they get, some kids they make fun of them, they create really a bad environment, but it continues at home because of the internet. You see, if you have an image, reputation, some kids can be very sensitive. If they are no longer respected, people make fun of them, they cannot really focus normally. So we have a lot of problems in America on this level. So it can be good because we can communicate faster, better, but it can also be bad because kids are getting addicted to that. It's like an obsession. They don't communicate anymore. They use a cell phone. They send a message, and also the problem is when you send a lot of messages or when you Twitter people, you have to be very fast to have a very short sentence. Um, and it forces the kids to not have a good spelling. So they make a lot of mistakes. It's unbelievable. Anyways, this is done. So what do you think? We could have done that as well. What can animals do that people can't? How do you like to communicate? What is happening in information technology now? Okay. So that is done, out of the way, and we'll go through this stuff. I was asking as well. I was asking you if you could tell me when you're gonna receive the books. So it should be sometime this week. so that's very good, it's fast. And we also did, we didn't do that, but we also did this, which is Longman, Longman Press Understanding and Using English Grammar. And we went to page, I believe, 19. Where's 19? There we go. So, this is for different 19. Okay. Actually, we started with page 19, so I'm sorry about that. We have what we call regular and irregular verbs. So it starts here. This is the infinitive form, simple form. Hope, stop, listen, study, start. So what basically, we started with a simple past. There's a summary here, somewhere. The simple past is talking about an action that is over, a past action. Okay, and let's see. Okay, that's not the one. I was trying to look for this chart for the simple past. Now I cannot find it. Well, simple past is basically ed, or we have irregular verbs. The regular verbs will use an ed ending, but the pronunciation can be different according to the verb, the ending of the verb actually. So the simple form is infinitive, and the simple past. So we have from simple form to simple past. Hope, hoped. Stop, stopped. Listen, listened. Study, studied. Start, started. So basically what you can do is be like, okay, when do I have a T or a D? Okay, so we have a T somewhere. So we're gonna say studied. Okay, so hoped, stopped, listened, studied, started. Okay, and we have the simple past and past participle. So a past participle is when you have like a let's say when I say I had eaten, eaten is a past participle. Okay, so every time you want to learn some irregular verbs, well, you're gonna be like, okay, so break, broke, broken, come, came, come, find, found, found, hit, 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 the same here, and swim, swam, 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 swam. Okay. So it's out of the way. Now the pronunciation, you see we have three different groups. First one, well, the ending with also final ed is pronounced in a different way. So looked, clapped, missed, watched. I hear so many times watch it. So watched, finished, and laughed. Okay. So when you have a verb ending with a K, P, S, CH, SH, and GH. Okay. Well, we're gonna have the T ending. Okay. Looked, clapped, missed, watched, finished, laughed. You see the ending here, K, P, S, etc. Well, for the simple past, we need to pay attention to that. Okay. They call them, different verbs. The ending, they say it's a voiceless sound like K, P, S, C, H, S, H, F, or GH. So every time you're gonna see a verb ending with a P, K, etc., etc., you're gonna know that you need the T sound. Looked. Okay. Second group, it's a tiny bit easier. We have smell, smelled, saved. To save, to save, saved. Sorry. So saved, smell, saved, cleaned, robbed, played. So basically, they say, okay, so this is still a voiceless sound. It's okay, you don't have to memorize that. All I'm asking is to know how to pronounce everything, okay? So if the verb ends with a L, smell, with a V, saved, with a N, cleaned, and B, rubbed, and other, you know, and all the vowel sounds. So, but basically, if you have this kind of ending, L, V, N, B, Y, among other letters, look, looked, clapped, missed. Okay, so we have two groups here. The third group, it's very easy. If the verb ends with a T or a D, we're going to say decided, needed, wanted, invited. So looked, smelled, or saved, cleaned. And the last one, decided, needed, wanted, invited. Okay? So here we have talked, sobbed, graded, asked, helped, watched, filled, defended, poured, waited, enjoyed, lauded, warmed, just like wonder, W-A-N-D-E-R, kissed, halted, to make a stop, or to be stopped, laughed, dried, believed, judged, be careful with this one, judged, counted, and boxed. We have more. So poured, waited, enjoyed, lauded, boxed, rested, pushed. You did a very good job here. Okay. So I ask you to do this exercise 11 on page 21. Okay. And we have 5 verbs here: arise, arose, arisen, to be, was, were, been, bear, bore, born, or just born, to beat, beaten, become, became, become. Okay? We're going to learn 5 verbs at a time. That's why it's not a big saturation. Okay? So, anyways, this is what I believe I'm not forgetting anything. I hope not. Let's just check something. Okay. Oh, no, I forgot something. The transcript. We were talking about the New Yorkers versus, the West Coast. There's always a competition, can be artistic, musically. There's always a competition between New York and LA. They don't even want to think about the same thing. So the New Yorkers, who are the people living in New York, okay, they can be rude. They are in a hurry, and cab or taxis are a big part of everyday life over there. The famous yellow cabs. And if you want to talk about the people living in California, the Californians, okay? Pejorative means negative, bad, okay? And to give birth is when your daughter is born or your son is born. Pregnant is to be pregnant, okay? To wait for a kid if you want to keep it. When my daughter was born, okay? So to be born and to give birth. We also reviewed the simple present, okay? It's everyday, repetitive action, okay? So the museum opens every day at 5. The sun rises every day. It was page 19. It was done. We have this expression in American English is he's loaded or she's loaded. It means he or she is rich. Okay, to wander, to come to a halt. Page 11. That's another exercise I would like you to do before tomorrow if you can. And I would like you to make, for the next time, 5 sentences with the irregular verbs. So what do we have? I need to find 5 different verbs to know their simple past and their past participle. Okay. So basically, so this is done. Okay, so basically these verbs they just have a different pattern. Okay, for when it comes down to conjugating these verbs. We talked about, I was trying to make you practice at the beginning of the lesson and the end of the lesson. So the sign language, the body language, okay, and angry, anger, useful, practical, convenient. I'm gonna stop here. You get everything. You get the grammar, American headway, and that's something I would like to do as well if we have time the next time. So, but also don't forget to pay attention to the conversational American English book. Okay, it was on the last video as well. But let's do that for tomorrow. Okay, so that way you have time to digest everything we did today, and you can watch it tomorrow morning if you want on this video and get ready for real work. Okay, you have a very beautiful evening, and I'll talk to you tomorrow at 11. Take care. Bye bye.